guys, DFW's Cars here, bringing you another car review today. Today it's the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport from 2017. Do have a video of the Outlander as well, so this will be a quick take. One thing I will point out about this guy, although the front has been modernized and has that Mitsubishi design language, you couldn't really call boring whether you find it pretty or not. It is a car that the underpinnings can be dated back to 2011 with subtle improvements since then, but as we'll talk about later, you're paying what you would have paid for a car back in 2011 as well on this guy. So the side here, it is a good looking side profile, at least I think that. Of course, that's subjective. I'm not so sure how I feel about that unless it's a physical event or on a Bentley. Those 18-inch wheels are simply incredible though. So yeah, not a bad looking SUV. Wrap around to the back and then do some exhaust here. But yeah, overall a very attractive SUV. This one does have the upgraded 2.4 liter engine. Nice looking engine. You can tell this car, was designed to have even a larger engine in there. But yeah, clean, and we'll talk about the performance of it in a little bit, but very nice overall. The engine is not an area of complaints, nor is the fuel economy. The interior of this car is pretty good. The fact that it is black does help with some of the plastics that aren't as high quality. Do love the wheel there. That's very similar to the Outlander wheel. Love this little touch of plastic down here, reminiscent of wood. Chrome surrounds there. Two of my favorite features, which I'll kind of talk about in the driver view, are the pedals down there to give it that sport feel, and the paddle shifters, which I have used, which again we'll talk about in the drive review. Chrome surrounds on the gauges there, almost electroluminescent type gauges as well, which isn't 100% common in this price category. So yeah, the gauges and cluster up there are very nice. They do the job. Color display in the middle there. Leather, even in the price point of this, which is a lower trim model. The center area, is pretty nice there. There's that high gloss plastic, which is a nice upgraded touch. And then also I do appreciate that, strip of chrome down there. So Mitsubishi has definitely tried to make this a livable to, I would say, nice place, especially for this price point of car to be as well. The seats are also very, pretty comfortable, and like I said, they are leather trimmed even on some of the lower end models, which is quite nice. Looping around to the back of this SUV, that is pretty phenomenal. I am just under 6 feet, and as you can see down here, there is plenty of room for definitely 2 6-footers in this car. So that's not bad. Lots of headroom back here. And then we'll check out the cargo area and go for a drive. The cargo area with the seats up is actually not bad. There's this, I love how Mitsubishi does this here, and other companies do too, but it was one of the first things I noticed on the Outlander that was nice. And then also, when you fold these seats down, it does get to be fairly large, and you can definitely, fairly large opening for a smaller SUV as well there. So that's always one thing I look out for. So I've been driving this guy for a few days now, and the question is it deserving of the sport moniker? Because other companies have done that, and a lot of auto journalists have given them flack for sport just meaning small. There are a couple of ways it is. The steering is one of the few ways and reasons I would take this, besides the smaller size, over the Outlander. It is tighter, as you'd expect from a Mitsubishi, which is traditionally thought to be a pretty, sporty end car. So I can, turn this wheel easily. It's a fairly quick ratio. Some of the feel, I'm sure Mitsubishi will continue to dial in as time goes on. But it's definitely it's stronger than the Outlander. Ride and quality and quietness is not bad. The interior, obviously, of the full-size Outlander is nice, so you get more space. So if it's in your budget, I would kind of lean towards the Outlander. But one exceptional area of this car, outside of the brakes and the engine, is the fact that it is, with rebates at least going on right now, even on the 2017s, fairly, moderately loaded out, like around a $20,000 SUV. again, depending on trims and packages. A phenomenal deal when an average car price now, you know, approaching $35,000. It's definitely an area I like about this car as well. Some minor areas of improvement that you might want to look out for a Mitsubishi, and that you might want to look out for when you test drive it. The CVT is definitely not the best CVT out there, but I've also seen worse. The paddle shifters are so cool looking, as I showed you earlier, and literally look like they're right off a Ferrari or other sports car. They're actually mounted behind the steering wheel, which is actually very functional and has several real-world advantages like that. And when I've been although they're not quick shifting because it's a CVT, on a curvy road where I needed to downshift, or a mountainous road, I have actually used them and not had to lean down here and, you know, adjust the transmission there. So making for a safer, more fun driving experience. I'm glad Mitsubishi included that in the Sport. It is lighter and smaller than the Outlander, so it does, I would say, drive as well, and probably with the steering and various other things, slightly better and sportier as well. Some options I would get, you know, especially if you're getting a good deal on the car. The standard stereo is acceptable. I would get the Roxford Fosgate because that is one of Mitsubishi's, you know, huge, you know, features that people love, and it's great. Another thing I would probably get is a moonroof. It just kind of makes the car, you know, a little bit nicer. And this is not particularly torque steery, but I often recommend the all-wheel drive if you live in a damp place, or especially snow, or you know, you just want that little extra bit of. A few areas this car is not particularly sporty is the stability control off button. You actually have to hold that button down for several seconds before the system actually will turn off. On is immediate, but off is definitely a 3-second procedure. And frankly, you probably won't want to turn the stability control off unless you're, you know, stuck in something and wanting to spin your wheels a little bit, because it has intervened at times and helped, you know, balance the chassis out and, you know, just make it a better car overall. Unless you are on a track, thing like that, unless your car has a multi-point stability control system, you probably do want to leave it on an everyday road in case you hit a patch of oil, water, anything like that. No matter how good the driver is, you know, that it can't be compensated for. Conclusion, would I buy this SUV with my own money? If I were looking for one of the definitely more affordable but also nice SUVs out there, I would give it my consideration. There are other SUVs possibly with nicer interiors or more modern drivetrains, things like that. But overall, as a package, this SUV does everything you would need it to. So until next time, my speedy racers, drive on.